What is going on, boys and girls? It's the one and only, the Black Avenger, aka the Black Azrael Lee Sanders. Pleased to meet you. Nice to know me as we are talking WWE Raw Fallout for this Monday night of May 11th, 2015. Come one, come all. As always, for you newcomers, you might be checking us out for the very first time and you're looking for actual WWE Raw footage. Head on over to WWE Fan Nation here on YouTube at, again, WWE Fan Nation. They post little highlights of what you might have missed from a week in programming in WWE. If you still can't find what you're looking for, head on over to WWE's website, WWE.com. All right, I want to hear from you guys. Post those comments down below. You can also interact with me for the next little bit. Twitter at the RCWR Show, Facebook, Infinity One Productions. That's with an E, spell it out. ONE, Infinity One Productions to infinity and beyond, my pretty babies. Make sure you give this a thumbs up, share it throughout social media. One of the many ways to spread a good word about our content. A lot of stuff to talk about, including Daniel Bryan, who made a very key and critical decision on tonight's Raw. You know, while we're talking about Daniel Bryan, I mean, I just want to tease you with that little bit. We're going to dive into what happened with him in just a little bit. It is Daniel Bryan related, so indulge me for a little bit. I think it's a smart idea to just get this out in the way right now and maybe kind of bring it up a little bit later on in the show. But you guys that are huge Daniel Bryan fans, you'll be happy to know that we actually have gotten a hold of an advanced copy of Daniel Bryan's new book titled Yes. And we're actually going to be giving that away to one of you, our listeners. And to enter the contest, I mean, we've had many entries already. And you know, it just keeps growing and growing. I like that, but I think we could do better. I want as many people to enter as much as humanly possible. No telling when we're going to have another prize giveaway like this again. For those of you that might have missed it, basically the way that we have the contest set up, excuse me, guys, like my eyelashes are the way you enter this prize contest is if you've been a long time subscriber of ours, checking out our shows on here and also checking out our podcast, you already have the first half complete. Second half, all you got to do is leave a rating and review on Stitcher. Now, all the links you need is down below, so make sure you check that out, okay? If you want to try to double your chances in winning, you are more than welcome to also leave a rating and review on our iTunes page. And look at it this way, you know, by you being vocal, you're stepping up and you're letting people know what it is you like about our show, why folks that might be coming across us for the first time should check us out. The information that you submit is very helpful. Now, one thing that I noticed, or one or two things that I noticed, and we got to get this out in the open. One, no shout outs. Keep it on point. You know, that body of work that, you know, you're using to leave the review, you know, that specifically is for us and our show, our content. You know, no shout outs mentioning other people and all that. We got to get that out the way. And then the second thing is when you leave your rating and review, it's imperative that you email us as soon as you've left that rating and review. Luckily, there were one or two people I didn't even know they left a rating and review. And luckily, I had an idea what their Twitter handles were or whatever. And I told them, I said, hey, you didn't even email us and let us know the username, you know, your name and all that. As that's part of entering the contest. Once you leave the rating and review, you got to leave a email address with us, letting us know your name, shipping info, so we can have it on standby. Because if you win, hey, you know, we send you an email. Hey, you won. Your stuff's been shipped. You know what I'm saying? But I could go on and on and on and on and on. But I think it'd be like totally kick ass if you check out the video tutorial that we did. I think it was like about 6 minutes. We covered all the bases, all the questions. Check out the link down below. The deadline is this Sunday, May 17th. 10 p.m. Eastern, like an hour before we come on live at 11 p.m. that night with our payback pay-per-view post show. We'll be covering Fallout, overall review, great analysis, include you all's interactions, reactions. So make sure you join us for that. Best of luck to you. All right, so let's talk about WWE Raw tonight, emulated from Dean Ambrose, Birth City, and Cincinnati. That's where Raw came to us from tonight. We had the cerebral assassin, the King of Kings, the game, Triple H, making his return to the company, pulling up in a black limousine. I love the little cheap plug that we had with the phone number that was on there and all that, and the name of the limousine company, in case you might need a limousine, in case you might be in that area there. I thought that was a nice little subtle touch. It was like 3 seconds, but it was long enough for you to just freeze your TV and see, oh yeah, what's the number? What's the name of those guys? Okay, good, And Triple H pretty much had kicked off the show as he had told the WWE Universe how he's been noticing everything that's been going on since he's been away for the past several weeks. Remember, one of the last times we saw Triple H prior to tonight was, if I'm not mistaken, when he came back to promote the return of WWE Tough Enough. Now, some information has come about as far as who all is going to be representing the panel, the judges, trainers, and all that. We'll go more in depth about that on our Tuesday night podcast. I'll give you details on that as we have a very, very special guest that's going to be on that episode. So stick around for that. But Triple H basically trying to have everybody from the Authority be on the same page, in particular, Kane, Seth Rollins. We saw Seth Rollins come out, and the way he interacted with Triple H, loved it. I loved it. He basically told Triple H, hey, look, the stuff that's going on with Kane, I know you and Kane, you all go way back and everything, but if I got to be brutally honest, Kane's kind of out of touch now. He was a decorated champion and all that back in his day, but he's not the same man that he is, or that he was back then. I think it might be time for you to take him on out back and put a couple of rounds in him. Kind of had an old Yeller reference there, the way he made that sound, that or of Mice and Men, with Burgess Meredith. You hear that, you're like, damn. Then you see Kane come out. He takes offense to what Seth Rollins had said. And pretty much Triple H had said, look, Seth, Seth brings up good points. Kane, I feel where you're coming from. Sometimes you just want to ball up your fist, deck Seth Rollins. I get that, but you got to understand that Seth Rollins as champion, that's what's best for business. He is the priority right now. We have to do everything we can to look out for him. And Triple H pretty much drew a line. He said, look, this Sunday, it's imperative that you see to it that he leaves out a payback still as the champion. Otherwise, your services in the Authority may no longer be needed. So Triple H laying it down right then and there. And also saying to Kane, I need to know right now, if you're not all in, now's the time to let me know. And we see Kane, he doesn't utter a word. Triple H thinks that by the silence, that means Kane is on board. But just to make sure that everything is on point or peachy, we see Triple H say to Kane that he's going to be in a match with Roman Reigns later on in the night, and Seth Rollins is going to have a main event match against Randy Orton. We saw J&J Security, or Jamie Noble. Jamie Noble, boy, woo! Jamie Noble getting in the face of Triple H, talking about how he doesn't appreciate Triple H just out popping up, and how he was probably watching everything that was going on with Seth Rollins on his big old screen TV and all that. That was priceless. I love how Jamie Noble said limousine. He said, hey, limousine. Like, are you like trying to say lemonade or something? Limousine? What? It was crazy. And leave it to Triple H to make fun of a person that is height challenged. Yeah, man, was that a serious dig at both of those guys? More so Jamie Noble, crouching down, trying to talk to them on their level and everything. I mean, it's like, how you really feel, Triple H? I don't know. I mean, we hear all those reports that's out there. People think, Triple H is an asshole. And unfortunately, you have some people that can't really separate the character that you see on TV to the individual in real life when the cameras are not rolling. You could find out as much personal information about a person as possible when the cameras are not on them. Once it's in that person's mind that this person is like a total dick, that's pretty much it. There's like no convincing in the world. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But Triple H had set up a match, handicap match at that, for J Security against Dean Ambrose, of which Dean Ambrose had picked up the victory. I was watching the Wizards game, and I was amazed at how much of Raw I was able to catch up on after the game was over, because the Wizards game did not end until just a little bit after 9:30, and I pretty much did not watch Raw until then. So I blazed through the commercials, and I definitely took the time out to blaze through any segments that might have been a little bit slow or whatnot. But I definitely took the time out to try to watch as many matches as I could in the time that I had left. And I gotta tell you, for those of you that might be in the position that I was in, it's like basketball or wrestling, WWE at that. I'll have you know, if the game starts at 7, and it ends at like 9:30, a little bit after 9:30, I'd say 9:45 max, you can definitely make it. You can burn through pretty much everything right on up into real time, and that's what happened with me, luckily. Let's talk about some of the matches that had came about. We already told you about Dean Ambrose picking up the win over J Security. One thing I want to say about J Security, those guys are so freaking talented, for what they were able to do respectively in their careers as singles competitors. And I just wish that WWE would just creative, whoever is involved, I wish they would just let the shackles be loose a little bit and let them kind of go back to what they used to do in the past, because in their time years back, they used to be able to put on some really, really great matches, man. Really great matches, especially Jamie Noble. Great in-ring worker. I feel. I mean, look. He's not a Bret Hart or anything like that, but he kind of reminds me, if I were to try to do like a little bit of a comparison for JB Noble, he kind of has like Crash Holly meets. I'm tempted to say. I won't say that name. I don't want to be like Booker T and get in trouble. I think you guys see where I'm going with that. I don't know. He reminds me of Crash Holly meets Billy Kidman. I think that's hopefully you guys don't think that's a knock. I mean very well with the comparison there, because I'm also a big fan of Billy Kidman. As far as Joey Mercury, back in his time, I remember a Joey Mercury with dreads and all that, and he reminded me a lot like John Morrison, Johnny Mundo, just a little bit milder, not as extremely gifted as John Morrison, Johnny Mundo is. Johnny Mundo, you know him as if you watch Lucha Underground. But yeah, that's the comparison. I wish they would just, creative would just kind of let loose a little bit, let those guys fly. You know what I'm saying? But hey, teach its own. We saw Wade Barrett defeat Dolph Ziggler. A little bit of help from Sheamus. Did a post-match beatdown afterwards. I mean, you guys should have known that something like this was coming, because if you follow Sheamus and Wade Barrett on social media, those two guys, they kind of seem to be buddy chum with one another. I must say, WWE, I think they quietly have something going on right there under the radar that they may not even really realize, which is with the team of Sheamus and Wade Barrett. That's a hell of a tag team right there. Talk about a force to reckon with in the tag team division if WWE wanted to go there. But, at this point, I don't know. You look at Sheamus, you're kind of getting the impression that maybe eventually he's going to make a run for the World Heavyweight Championship, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, or the WWE title, however you guys refer to it as. Wade Barrett, he's got the whole King Barrett thing going on right now. By the way, great interaction that he had with Jerry the King Lawler on last week's SmackDown. If you guys didn't see that, go check it out. I think you all might be in luck on Hulu Plus. If you have the NBC Universal channel for your respective cable or satellite provider, I know a lot of times on the weekends they'll show SmackDown at least 2, maybe 3 times over the weekend. And then you have SmackDown in Espanol, I think. I could be wrong. I got to research that. I know Raw is in Espanol because I watch that a lot. SmackDown, I'm not really sure about. But, they might have something going on right there. Speaking of tag teams, very interesting to see Eric Rowan beat the living tar out of Fandango. Poor guy, didn't have a chance in the world. It's like he felt the beat, getting ready to dance to it, and before he could even get some rhythm going, kaplooey, looks like Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, looks like these guys are getting back together as a tag team, as we saw them trying to, I guess, outdo each other with the assault on Fandango. And honestly, I thought WWE made a huge and costly mistake breaking those guys up. I never understood it. I looked at Bray Wyatt. I said, okay, I understand totally. Yes, he is definitely the breakout guy, the breakout star from the Wyatt family. Yes, makes sense. Luke Harper, I say, you know what? Hell to the yeah. He seems like he's got something going on there. I'm digging it. He's got the whole combination of Mick Foley's Cactus Jack meets Terry Funk, meets Ming, meets freaking I'm missing another one. Bruiser Brody. I mean, he's just got this whole weird combination going on of all those different DNAs from those wrestlers, and it's just all in one. And you get Luke Harper. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. Okay, let's see what he could do, especially if you remember his career on the Indies as Big Rig. You're like, yeah, let's see what he could do. Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan was one of those guys I said, man, if they don't do something with this guy soon and like a big turnaround, he's probably going to be put on the spring cleaning list for WWE. And honestly, I'm glad that Eric Rowan is back with Luke Harper. I think Luke was doing okay by himself, but Eric needs this right now. I think it's very imperative, and I got to give WWE props for kind of realizing, we kind of messed up breaking these guys up. Wyatt, we're okay, but we messed up with these guys. Let's put them back together. Looks like they're definitely going to be a force to reckon with in the tag team division. Let's stay on the tag team division. We saw another great promo by the Primetime Players. This time they were inspiring a little bit of the Generation X with their promo. Great stuff right there. I love the way WWE has been marketing the Primetime Players the past several weeks, going into the past couple of months, because you think back to when Primetime had first got back together. Remember the circumstances surrounding that? Come on, I'm sure you guys painfully remember that, how Titus O'Neil had came in to save Darren Young. I think it was from a handicap beatdown by the Ascension. Titus O'Neil came out, and you're like, oh, snap. For the first time in a couple of years, we're going to see the Primetime Players reunited. Hey, this is a great moment. And to think, it wasn't that long ago that Primetime was a stable ass. And before anybody asks, I know there's that question about the guy that used to manage him. Do Somebody asked me a couple of months back when all this was going down, whoever that manager was for prime time, uh, Washington, AJ Washington or something like that, Abram Washington, whatever the hell that guy's name was. Is he needed? Hell no, because you got Titus O'Neil. He's a fantastic mouthpiece. I thought that guy wasn't needed for the prime time player. So no, I don't think they need to bring him back. I don't think WWE wants him back from some of the stuff that I vaguely remember surrounding the circumstance of him being released and all that. But you think back to when they had reformed, all you heard was crickets, and it was kind of like, this isn't really getting over. What the hell? And it's been really smart having the primetime players cut up on all the different tag teams. And I love how today, far as I can recall, and if I'm wrong, somebody back me up, but like I've yet to see a tag team say, hey, primetime players, we're aware of you all's promos and constantly bashing the tag teams and all of that. Well, we're gonna see you. We got something for you next time we cross paths with you. I haven't seen anything like that yet. So it's kind of nice how these guys are just able to cut up on the entire tag team division, and like no one has tried to pull their card yet and meet them in the ring. Badass stuff right there. But notice this trend as far as the tag team division goes. And then we had a singles match tonight with Cesaro taking on Biggie Langston, of which Cesaro picked up the victory. Remember, those two tag teams, they're going to be going at it this Sunday at Payback. Tag team belts are on the line. You look at what's going on with the New Day stable, and they are definitely bringing back the Freebird rule. Those of you that don't know what the Freebird rule is, do some homework. We told you guys a couple of weeks ago about that, and I got a couple of private messages. What's the Freebird rule? And it's like, look it up. You got a computer, type it out. Good stuff to look up while you're, I don't know, on your way to school, on your way to work, or I don't know, waiting for the lovely lady to come out of the shower. I don't know. Want to take this time out to thank those of you that's checking us out right now for Monday night, May 11, 2015. Bring those comments in. I want to know what you guys had thought about tonight's WWE Raw. And I see some comments are generating right now. Keep it coming, though. Keep it coming. I love seeing you guys comment. And while we got you all's attention, if you're enjoying our show so far, please go out of your way to give this a thumbs up. It really helps. And make sure you spread a good word about our content. I got to give a shout out. I think it was to Black Mamba that left us a review and a rating, and very kind words that he had to say. And this is the stuff, man. When I ask you guys to leave us a rating and review, I appreciate the fact that you guys come out and you represent. It makes me feel loved. It makes me feel appreciated, and most importantly, thank you. That's really what I have to say. Thank you. But I love this one review that came to us from Black Mamba, and let's see, where is he? Here he is. This is what he had to say. This show is a great podcast for any wrestling fan out there for a nice positive view on wrestling in general. And to me, it's a shame that barely people know about this show. To me, this show is one of the best wrestling podcasts out there in the internet. I appreciate that. I don't consider myself to be the best. And that's, for me to say that says a lot. You got some people. You got some shows that's out there, they'll label themselves the best show in the world or the best show on the internet, or they'll I don't believe in self-hype. I really don't. I just don't. I believe in letting your body of work speak for itself, letting your character shine through your work. And when you let it shine that way, that speaks volumes. And you shouldn't have to do all the boosting. the people that mess with you should be able to do. I don't know. To each its own, but that's just my mentality. Keep those comments coming in, though. Let's continue on. What do I want to talk about now? Just checking out my notes real quick. Some more matches. Cena, Neville, United States Championship. How many of you guys have been paying attention to what I've been saying about the John Cena US Open Challenge, which still sounds like a freaking tennis tournament to me, or a golf tournament? US Open, only on USA. Oh, there he is. Tiger Woods is hitting the birdie, and it's going in the hole. Yeah, but no, seriously, if you've been paying attention to what I've been saying the past couple of weeks, one of the biggest pieces of criticism I've been giving over this whole thing is WWE and the commentators doing a piss poor job and really hyping up the fact that John Cena defending this championship belt week in, week out, doing it on Raw, doing it on SmackDown. It's very costly because he doesn't know who his opponent is. He doesn't have enough time to mentally prepare, physically prepare. He's putting the challenge out there, and it's like, okay, who's coming out? I mean, it could be Hornswoggle, or it could be the Big Show. It could be RoboCop, or it could be the Shockmaster. It could be Ronald McDonald. It could be the Hamburglar. It could be Big Bird. John Cena doesn't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it could be Fat Albert, it could be Popeye, you never know. Or it could be the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you never know. But point is, it could be Barack Obama, you never know. It could be Gumby. It could be Gumby and Pokey in a handicap match. You never know. But seriously, one thing I've been noticing is the commentators doing a piss poor job, not putting over the fact that John Cena is in a serious state of mind defending the title, because he could lose the championship at any moment. And then you have this whole match with Rusev that's going to be happening at the pay-per-view if he manages to defend the title successfully leading up to the event. And my whole argument was the commentators need to do a better job in putting out there a sense of urgency when it comes to Cena defending this title. And you know what? I was really listening tonight, really listening. And the commentators finally started to sell it. And I was so ecstatic that they did, because I'm like, finally, thank you. Thank you, WWE. Now you're plugging in those little gaps. You're not making it come off so obvious that Cena is going to go past the opponent that's facing him on Raw or SmackDown, main event, wherever the hell he decides he wants to defend the title. Now you're putting the element out there that Cena's risking a lot. This could backfire. It's great that he wants to be a fighting champion. Thumbs up, soldier. Captain America reference there. But it could seriously backfire. This match tonight against Adrian Neville, loved it. I freaking loved it. How many of you guys love the way Neville kicked out of the AA? And I don't mean African American, right? That was a great spot. I'm also reminded of the match against Sami Zayn last week, and Sami Zayn kicked out the AA. So you're keeping track at home. You're like, damn, past 2 weeks, we've had two guys, go figure, former NXT champions that has kicked out of Cena's finisher. Because when usually he does that, it's lights out. So I kind of marked out just a little bit when I saw Neville kick out, because I swear to you, as good as the match was, when I saw the AA get hit, I'm like, okay, well, that was a great match. It was, I was about to clap, and then Neville just kicks out. I'm like, whoa, all right. I'm like, now it's getting interesting. And then I couldn't help but sit back and just really start marinating on this match for a few takes and say, if I was writing this, if I was booking this, I would have Rusev come out, and right when he thinks Neville is going to pick up the W, He's going to deny him that because when it's all said and done, Rusev has the big chip on his shoulder. Rusev doesn't like the fact that Cena not only took away his undefeated single streak, but also took away his United States title. Oh, yeah. Yeah, some shape or form, Rusev needs to come out when it counts the most. And honestly, I thought that was a well-placed move by WWE, booking wise, to have that man come out right after, if I'm not mistaken, Neville hit the red arrow and just start attacking Neville. Then he goes over and attacks Cena. I love that. And see, then you kind of got to think back to the previous history that Neville and Rusev had. So, I mean, a lot of stuff right there, all mixed in one right there. I love it. A lot of backstory right there. Probably the other thing that I wish that WWE would have did, if I were to give any type of criticism for that particular segment, I kind of wish that the commentators would have been like, Rusev and Neville, they have a little bit of history in NXT. That way they can, I mean, they were hyping up NXT during that match. I mean, we saw the NXT plugs all throughout the night, right? When Raw was about to go off the air. Oh, see Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, NXT arrival. Now on the WWE Network, I mean, they were doing all this NXT referencing. I kind of wish that they would have done that between Neville and Rusev. That way, you can make the viewer watching at home connect even more. Not to mention, if you haven't watched NXT yet, even more the reason why you should hop up on the network and try to check it out, for the simple fact it's free this month for new subscribers. Yes, those of you that have signed up for the network since day one, I know that there are those of you that's like, where's our gratuity? We've signed up since day one. Where's our gratuity? Let me be honest with you guys real quickly, because then we got to get to Daniel Bryan real quickly. This isn't Microsoft. All right. This isn't, be with us for 5 or 10 years and then we're going to send you a new console. It's the WWE. Would it be nice if they did something nice for those that's been with them since, day one? Yeah, it would be nice. But when it's all said and done, I don't know, guys. They would lose a lot of money, I think, to thank all the people that signed up for day one. I think it would be a very costly move. I mean, they're trying to make money. They're still trying to get into the green and then some. Maybe in about 3 years or 5 years, maybe they can start looking out for those that signed up day one. Who knows? Let's get to Daniel Bryan. I could not wait for this moment. So Daniel Bryan, he comes out, and very emotional segment this was. I just couldn't help but study his face, trying to see, okay, is he gonna rib people on, or what's going on right here? And I just kept looking at his facial expression as he was talking, and long story short, let's just cut through all the red tape. Daniel Bryan addressed his WWE future, and basically he said he got some MRIs done, and the way it's looking right now, he's not sure how long he's going to be out. He's not sure if he's going to be able to come back. Uh, the doctors are telling him that, given what's going on with him right now, uh, they strongly advise him to not wrestle anymore. Uh, he's not sure what really the future holds for him right now, um, as far as when and if he may come back to in-ring competition. One thing that he did stress, though, is the fact that the WWE universe, the fans, they deserve a fighting intercontinental champion. And I like how he pointed out Wade Barrett, Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose. Nice little spot right there, since he is the hometown guy there. And he basically said pays him to do it, but he relinquished the Intercontinental Championship. Fans did a nice job in thanking Daniel Bryan. Hopefully they really meant that. And it wasn't just a situation where they felt like they could take over the show so that they can get involved, have their voices be heard, be part of the moment. Hopefully, it was more so they genuinely like the guy, and they wish him nothing but the best, and they appreciated all the work that he was doing in the WWE these past several years. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people that was in attendance that have been following his career before WWE. So, very emotional segment that was. And you just got to feel for Daniel Bryan. I mean, almost a year ago, around the same time, he relinquished the WWE uh, World Heavyweight Championship. And, here we are again, history repeating itself. Now, before you freaking diehard TNA fans jump out there and you go, well, Lee, TNA I was watching last week and they was live, right? And Matt Hardy had coughed up the tag team titles because Jeff Hardy got injured. Back up a second. They had no choice but to do that because, first off, Jeff Hardy's injury, in case you all had missed it, those of you that might not know that TNA is still in existence, it is. Hit or miss. They do good things, they do bad things, from what I've been seeing. But of all the ways Jeff Hardy could get injured, he got injured in a motorcycle dirt bike riding accident. It happened like in his backyard and wherever he resides. And he broke his leg in several places. He's going to be out of commission for several months. And, you kind of got to feel for Jeff Hardy. But then again, all the crazy crap he's done over the years, you're kind of like, wow, this is like the first time this guy's like gotten majorly injured. What the hell? And, you also think back to just a couple weeks prior, we saw before Matt Hardy coughed up the tag team belts, we saw the Wolves cough up the tag belts. So, and then the other thing that you got to understand is TNA, they wanted to do something live, last Friday. And given the fact that everybody knew what was up with Jeff Hardy, kind of made all the sense in the world to just go on ahead and, cough up the belts. And I don't know what's going on with people drinking this Kool-Aid of, well, woesy me, I'm injured. I don't know what's going on with me, but I'm going to have to just cough up the belt. I'd like to see somebody step in, a champion step in at that, to be more precise and say, I have to go away for a little while. I'm not sure when I'll be back, if I'll be back at all. But in the meantime, I'd like to appoint somebody that will defend the championship belt for me until my return. They used to do it in the old days. I say old days. It's damn. It does feel old though. Now that I think about it, I remember seeing this stuff go down in the 80s, early 90s. I know it used to happen a little bit prior to that, but I kind of wish that some promotion would kind of bring that back between the two, because just seeing these people come out and just relinquish the title, and I don't know, it's just. But Daniel Bryan, I hope he gets better. And I mean, look, it's not the end of the road for Daniel Bryan. He's going to be involved in Tough Enough. I think he's going to be one of the judges or whatever. So, I mean, hopefully this man gets surgery. That's the main thing. Stop doing the voodoo, bula shaka, bula shaka, bula shaka, witch doctor, dropping kitty litter over the freaking wound and or over the freaking injury and saying you're cured. Hopefully he gets the knife cut in him. He gets the surgery. He can come back. Win-win situation, but most importantly, it's a big W for him because it will correct whatever injury he has going on. He'll be 100%, and most importantly, he'll have X amount more years if he decides to do in-ring competition. Not to mention, he has a book that's going to be coming out in mid-July. We have a contest on that. Those of you that's just joining us, check out all the information in this episode description. I'm not going over it again That was overkill earlier. All right. But comment, you guys, on what you thought about what went down with Daniel Bryan. Do you agree or disagree as far as what's going on with the whole championship? Do you think it's one of these promotions, definitely I'm eyeballing WWE right now. Do you think there needs to be a situation where they need to like appoint a interim champion? I think it's kind of cool if they do it in a way where not every single time somebody gets injured, there's like an intern, but like make it special, when it counts. And just to touch up on the Intercontinental Championship one more time, it sucks what's going on with Daniel Bryan. We do have Adrian Neville. He's been doing a good job sliding right in there. I think he would be the man to pick up the mantle as far as popularity goes, that Daniel Bryan has with the fans and all that. Roman Reigns, Kane, again, this match would not see a conclusion. Roman Reigns beat the holy crap out of Kane, sent him crashing through the announcer's table. That was pretty much it for that match. Tamina Snuka saw in-ring competition since returning last week. She defeated Brie Bella. Great dominant performance right there. Love that super kick. One thing I love about Tamina, nobody does a better super kick than Tamina Snuka. I will take her super kick, match it up against any other female any day of the week. I'll match it up against any other guy of the week. She does it damn good. Almost better than HBK. To an extent, depends on which you get. Sweet chin music or super kick. Sweet chin music, I mean, I don't know. For me, it's like when it comes to the sweet chin music, I mean, as good as a move as it is, I prefer the super kick because for me, realistically, the super kick can just come out of nowhere. But when you got sweet chin music, you're tuning up the band. So it's like you hear the thumping and it's like, it's coming and you like don't have enough sense to get the hell out of the way. I don't know. To each his own, but that's just my take. Silly segment we saw with I got a comment on this. Axel Mania. Macho Sandow. So let me see if I got this straight. And after this, we're gonna jump to you guys' comments. Let me see if I got this straight. Damien Sandow cuts this emotional promo a couple of weeks back. And he's like, I owe everything to you, the fans. You guys were freaking awesome to me. And if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have a career. And you guys have been with me through a lot. You were with me when I first came up the roster and I was in a bathrobe and I was saying big words. And, then you guys were with me when I was doing my thing with Cody Rhodes, and then you guys were with me when I was, working with Mizdow and all that. And all right, so he does all this, and you're kind of getting the impression based off of the promo that he cut that he's just gonna maybe be himself to an extent. No, he's still playing characters, and it's infuriating to me for the simple fact it's obvious at least the way it comes off. Let me not say it's obvious. I'll just say the way it's coming off right now at this time. WWE Creative is looking at such a great talent in Damien Sandow, and rather than be like, you know what, this guy is very gifted in the ring, he's charismatic, we need to work off of this, we need to try to see if we can help elevate this guy. He's put in the time. We've put him in the most awkward positions, since he's been up the main roster. Let's see if we can do a turn for the better, make him be more of a serious character. And the way he's being marketed right now, it's like the new Santino Marella. And I'm sorry, but when I look at Damien Sandow, I don't necessarily think of comedy. I just don't. I never have. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of the stuff that he was doing, it was a lighthearted chuckle at best. nothing that made you roll on the floor and lose your guts. So I pray that WWE can steer this ship in the right direction, but I don't like what's going on with Macho Sandow. I mean, let me jump a step further than that. WWE, if you want a Macho Man character, I'm sure for the right amount of money, you can probably get a hold of, oh, I don't know, Jay Lethal. Maybe he can bring in his Black Machismo character. I mean, he does it pretty damn good, from what I remember. I mean, to each its own, but why that guy is not signed with WWE continues to just rattle my brain. It really, really does. But we saw Macho Sandow. He was getting ready to take on Curtis Axel, Axel Mania. Ascension comes out, and you're kind of like, oh, it looks like a broke ass Mega Powers taking on the Legion of Doom. And sure enough, that's exactly how it had played out. We saw Axelmania, Macho Sandow get the upper hand over Ascension. And that's actually going to be your payback kickoff match. Yes, it's going to be the broke ass Mega Powers 2015 version, taking on the broke ass Legion of No Boom. I'm calling it for what it's worth. Some of you guys may not like the fact that I'm being brutally honest. I'm digging into these guys, but we've been at this since 2011. Those of you that's been with us that long, you know, I try to keep it honest. I try to keep it insightful. I try to keep it interactive. You may not agree with some of the things that I have to say. I may not agree with some of the things that you have to say. It's okay that we disagree, but respect my opinion as I will do my best to respect yours. Respect the community as well. Play nice. That's what I say. Main event match: Randy Orton, Seth Rollins. Great match, but I come on now. The writing was on the wall. You knew J&J Security was going to come out, right? Come on, you guys knew. Love how they had Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, all come out and beat the crap out of J&J. Then you see Seth Rollins, and you're like, oh, he's about to get it. Kane comes out. You're wondering which side is he on. As it turns out, Kane is just standing there, not helping Seth, as Seth gets his ass beat. I mean, you see him get the Roman Reigns punch, the spear, the dirty deeds by Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose would come out. The RKO once Seth was eliminated. Then you saw Randy Orton deliver a RKO to, I'm trying to think. Yeah, there was like one big old peanut butter jelly jam that went down right there. Everybody was hitting finishers on one another. But I remember Dean Ambrose was the one standing strong at the end. Yeah, because he actually did dirty deeds to Roman Reigns, and he was standing strong. So you're left with that last burning image of Dean Ambrose, and you're wondering to yourself, could he possibly be the king of the world come this Sunday? Great strong finish. I thought it was a good way to end Raw. I enjoyed the ending that we had from last week's SmackDown, though. That was something else. I wish it would have ended like that, but you know, it's kind of nice to shake things up from time to time and get away from the whole typical contract signing on Raw. It's nice that SmackDown is kind of getting a little bit of that love now. I mean, more and more as the weeks progress, I mean, it just really kind of seems like SmackDown kind of has one or two decent gems that you can look forward to or Thursdays. Let's get to you guys' comments on that note. Enough about me. Let's get to you guys here. My favorite part of the show. And first things first. Let's see what we got here. I'm loading up you guys' comments and seeing the ones that are marked spam and all that other good stuff. Let's see what we got here. All right. We'll take it from the top and we'll work our way to the bottom. All right. Let's see what we got. Ramon Lee, I don't want any free You get it, explicit from WWE. As long as I can watch all the nitros, the documentaries, pay-per-views, Saturday nights, main events, just the memories, the batches I had and have yet to see is more than enough for me for just die that he died. I am a wrestling fan, and the wrestlers need to be paid. Good words right there. I mean, if I were to find any complaint, I want more old school content. I can't begin to tell you how much I craved AWA after we had found out about the passing of Mr. Vern Gagne. I mean, I was just like, what the hell, And I wanted to watch AWA so bad. And I was like, where's my AWA DVD, The Spectacular Legacy of the AWA? I was looking for it. It looks like uh, I guess I lost it during my travels over the years. And I ended up ordering it again. It was on the WWE network at one point, but earlier this year, but they removed it. So I ended up getting the DVD. Those of you that's curious, it's like $5-10. You can get it dirt cheap, brand new, factory sealed. Good stuff. Check it out. While we're talking about Vern Gagne, we had the opportunity over the Mother's Day holiday weekend to chat with WWE Hall of Famer Larry Zbyszko of AWA fame, NWA fame. And we had a really great conversation. I highly recommend that you guys check it out. You'll be able to hear it in its entirety this Tuesday night, May 12th, 10 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker.com. We'll be live. We'll have that. We'll have the very latest in wrestling headlines beyond. We'll also take a crack at the final card for Payback, as we're going to do a special Call That Match edition exclusively on that podcast. If you can't join us live, all the links you need to check us out on demand is in this episode description. Jock, Raw was a good show. I feel bad for Bryan, and as much as it pays me to say it, but I hope Cena beats that SOB Rusev for Neville. Plus, it would be good for the U.S. title to be defended every single week. Good stuff right there. Kente, Neville be the future in a year from now. Sad Daniel Bryan had to give up the IC title. I hope he returned. If not, we got to respect his heart in wrestling. A scrappy underdog is the yes man. We believe in him. Good stuff right there. Awesome one. Not feeling the Macho Sandow and Curtis Axel Mega Powers 2.0. Raw felt kind of slow for me overall. 3 hours is just too long. The Elimination Chamber is coming back. Did you hear? It's on May 31st. Really? We got the Elimination Chamber popping up? That is great. Hey, I can't really be too excited, not until we see exactly how that card's gonna be looking for one. Let's see what else we got here. Looking up more comments. Let's refresh one more time. Trying to see some real good stuff. Give me something good. Cody, do I think the Elimination Chamber will be more violent since it's on the network? And what's my opinions of it only being on the network? As far as I know, what do you mean about being on the only on the network? Am I missing something, guys? I thought as far as all WWE pay-per-views go, last I heard, the way that the cable satellite providers are approaching WWE with its pay-per-views, they're basically cherry picking which pay-per-views they want to show. I have not heard anything to confirm or even deny what it is that you put out there, and that's news to me. I'm actually checking up right now, and bear with me a second, guys. Okay, I see what's going on. All right, so for those of you that might have missed it, WWE has announced a second pay-per-view for the month of May, and it will be a WWE Network exclusive event. The event will see the return of the Elimination Chamber Sunday, May 31st. This was previously a live event. So that's interesting. Honestly, I think it's a good marketing strategy for the simple fact you need to have more exclusives for the WWE network. Those same people that are saying, hey, where's the incentive? I've been with the network since day one. Well, WWE keeps doing exclusive stuff like this, doing exclusive stuff like bringing you Mick Foley's one man show. Um, Doing the original specials, all that other, good stuff, great content at that. If they keep doing stuff like that, there's really no reason to complain and cry. Although I must admit, it's nice to have the old school footage, man. It's really nice to be able to have access to, the AWA, old OVW, so you could see how it was for Randy Orton, Dave Batista, Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin. I mean, we could just go on and on and on about certain guys that were there in OVW. Be nice to see how they were there, coming up the ranks and all that. Be nice to see some FCW content as well. But refresh this one more time, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. If I didn't get to all of you all's comments, it's probably because I'm not seeing them all. Typically, when we end the stream, I like see comments that I missed, so don't take it personal, please. Let's see. I see something about Diva Charlotte was supposed to make her debut. Can't confirm or deny that. I didn't hear anything. I kind of like to be surprised. Honestly, I try to do my best to avoid raw spoilers, wrestling spoilers, and in general. There's actually that part of me that still has that little kid inside that wants to be surprised. Teach its own, but for me, I like being surprised. When I see something spoiler for tonight's Raw, it's like, oh yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that's why half the time I don't even like talk to people um, when Raw is on, or because I just want to watch the show and be surprised. I'm sure there's probably many of you guys that's out there that operate that same way. More power to you if you do. All right, so I think that's it. We'll go on ahead and we'll call it a night on that note. I do thank those of you that have joined us for this live stream. Definitely in advance. I thank those of you that's going to be checking out this on demand as it's getting ready to turn into now, maybe as we speak, as you're watching this now on demand. Real quickly, please make sure you give this a thumbs up. What you do, you are basically showing your love and support for us YouTube video creators. Share this a number of ways. Google plus it, Facebook it, retweet it. One of the many ways you can spread a good word about our content. Hopefully the stream has been good. Let me know what you all thought about the stream tonight. If there was any lagging, any audio problems, I actually ended up switching computers because I discovered that old Big Purple is getting ready to die. It looks like she can't handle as much of the work as she used to. So now we basically have it serving as our social media screen, if you will, while we're doing the stream on what you're looking at right now, or somewhat. But yeah, enter that Daniel Bryan contest. You got until Sunday night, May 17th, 10 p.m. Eastern. Again, if you need details, I did a really great video. I took the time out. It's like 7, maybe an 8-minute video. Might be less than that. I'm not sure, but I took my dear sweet time breaking it down as far as how you can enter the contest, even if it's a situation where maybe you're not interested in the Daniel Bryan book. If you know somebody that's in the wrestling and you know that they're a huge Daniel Bryan fan, I mean, even more the reason why you should like enter the contest and try to see if you can win it. You know what I'm saying? So best of luck to you, and we'll see you this Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker.com. We'll have that interview with Larry Zbyszko. We are also going to, I didn't get a chance to talk about it last week, but I will give my thoughts on the ESPN special that they did for WWE E60. I'll tackle that. I'll have a review for JTG's new book. Damn, why did I write this book? That's the name of it. If you guys missed out buying it during its initial release last week, he was offering it for dirt cheap. Like at first it was $1. I guess he realized that PayPal and a couple other people, by the time that dollar comes to him, it's basically like 80 cents or something like that, or 75 cents, however they work it. And he cranked it up to $1.33. I think now he probably wants anywhere between $19 to $30. I'll have the most accurate information on the podcast, but we'll have a review about that. Let you know if that's something you should definitely make it be your business to check out. We'll talk about Payback, take a look at the final card. We'll cover the latest in headlines. And if I can squeeze it in, we may have a review for a shoot DVD. Who is it? I'm going to tease you with that for now. All right. That's going to do it, guys. Bless you all. Be safe. Be kind to one another. May the good news be yours. Everybody, take care.